It began with a statement so outrageous it seemed ripped from the script of a dystopian drama, but it came straight from Donald Trump's own lips. At a campaign rally dripping with bravado and red-capped fervor, the former president took aim at an unlikely target, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. With a smirk that seemed rehearsed, he declared that if he were to return to the White House, people like her, the loudmouthed troublemakers who hate America, as he put it, would find themselves on the first plane back to wherever they came from. The crowd erupted in applause, but the ripple effect of his words traveled far beyond the rally hall. For Jasmine Crockett, born and raised in the United States, the threat wasn't just an insult, it was a direct challenge to her identity, her rights, and the millions of Americans who shared her vision of a fairer country. By the time Trump's words hit the news cycle, Crockett was already sharpening her response. She'd faced petty insults before, but this was different. This wasn't about politics as usual, it was about silencing dissent, about using fear as a political weapon. And if there's one thing Jasmine Crockett has never done, it's back down. Reporters swarmed her office on Capitol Hill, their questions overlapping like a wall of noise. But Crockett's demeanor was calm, her eyes sharp with determination. "I was born here. I fought for this country. And I'm not going anywhere," she told them. What she didn't say, yet, was that she had every intention of confronting Trump directly. And when she did, she wouldn't just defend herself. She would dismantle the dangerous narrative he was selling piece by piece in front of the entire nation. The stage was set in New Hampshire, where Trump's campaign event had drawn both supporters and protesters. The press had caught wind that Jasmine Crockett was in town for a separate political forum, and that she had no intention of avoiding her newest adversary. When word got out that Crockett was just a few blocks away, the media frenzy exploded. Cameras swiveled, reporters scrambled, and by the time Trump took the stage, the possibility of a showdown was all anyone could talk about. It didn't take long. Halfway through his speech, as he circled back to his mass deportation promise, Crockett strode into the back of the rally hall. She didn't sneak in. She entered like she belonged there, chin high, eyes locked on the man at the podium. The crowd turned, some booing, others stunned into silence. Trump paused mid-sentence, his mouth curling into that familiar smirk. "Well, well, look who decided to join us," he said into the mic. "I was just talking about people like you, Congresswoman. Maybe you should start packing your bags." The crowd roared with laughter, but Crockett didn't even blink. She stepped closer to the press barricade, her voice cutting through the noise without a microphone. "Mr. Trump, I was born in Texas. My family has been here longer than your family's been paying taxes. So if you're sending me anywhere, you better book a ticket straight to Dallas." The line hit like a lightning strike. Even some in the crowd couldn't suppress a chuckle, while reporters nearly fell over themselves scribbling it down. Trump, visibly irritated, tried to regain control with his usual bluster. By the next morning, clips of Jasmine Crockett's retort were everywhere. News channels, social media, late-night talk shows. The hashtag #ticket to Dallas was trending, and even Trump's inner circle privately admitted it had landed harder than they'd expected. That's when Fox News decided to seize the moment. They booked both Trump and Crockett for a live primetime segment, side by side, no pre-taped edits, no safe delays. The host, visibly giddy at the prospect of a ratings bonanza, promised a conversation about immigration policy. But everyone watching knew this was going to be a brawl. The moment the cameras went live, Trump came out swinging. "Congresswoman Crockett," he began with mock politeness, "you're a perfect example of what's wrong with our country. Radical, divisive, and standing in the way of making America great again. You should be thanking me for even letting you speak." Jasmine didn't flinch. "Mr. Trump, the only thing I'll thank you for is showing America exactly how fragile your ego is. You talk about deporting citizens because it plays well with your crowd, but deep down, you know it's a joke. just like your presidency." The host tried to interject, but Trump leaned forward, voice rising. "You're dangerous. You undermine law and order. People like you—" She cut him off, her tone suddenly cold. "People like me? You mean Americans who don't bow to bullies? You can threaten me all you want, Donald, but I'm not afraid of you, and the millions of people watching know you're afraid of me." The split-screen shot captured it perfectly. Trump's jaw tightening, Crockett's steady gaze locked on him. The studio fell silent for a beat, the kind of silence that says someone just got hit where it hurts. When they went to commercial, the host looked like he'd just survived a car crash, and the internet was already blowing up. The instant the red light on the camera went dark, the controlled chaos of live television dissolved into a different kind of tension. Producers rushed in, earpieces buzzing, stagehands whispering urgently. But the air between Donald Trump and Jasmine Crockett was so charged it was almost physical. Trump, still in his seat, leaned over the desk toward her. His voice dropped low, but the venom was impossible to miss. "You think you're untouchable? I can make one phone call and have your career over in a week. People disappear in politics all the time, Jasmine." She slowly turned her head toward him, not blinking once. "You've been trying to erase people your whole life, Donald. Women, journalists, entire communities. The only thing you've perfected is losing. You lost the popular vote, you lost re-election, and deep down you know you're going to lose again." He smirked, but it was thin, brittle. "You don't know who you're messing with." That's when she leaned in closer, just enough for the nearby mic to barely catch it. "Oh, I know exactly who I'm messing with. A man who's terrified of a woman who can't be bought or silenced. And here's the part that's going to keep you up tonight. I'm not the only one." The producer signaled for both of them to clear the stage. But Trump lingered a moment longer, staring as if searching for the line that might finally shake her. He didn't find it. She stood, smoothed her jacket, and walked off without a backward glance. Behind the curtain, staffers exchanged glances, that rare electric moment when everyone knew they'd just witnessed something that would dominate headlines for weeks. By sunrise, Donald Trump was already raging on Truth Social. "Jasmine Crockett is a disgrace to America, a radical left maniac who should be removed from Congress immediately. She's dangerous, hates our country, and if I were president again, she'd be the first to go." Cable news anchors read the post aloud with the same tone they reserved for tropical storm warnings. Clips of the previous night's confrontation were already going viral, paired with hashtags like #Trump meltdown and #Crockett claps back. Jasmine didn't wait long. By mid-morning, she was standing at a podium outside the Capitol, the press corps crowded in, cameras flashing. "Let's get one thing straight," she began, voice clear and cutting. "Donald Trump doesn't decide who gets to serve the American people. The voters do. And when a twice-impeached, 4-times indicted man tries to tell you someone else is unfit for office, you can be sure he's projecting." Reporters chuckled. She pressed on. "This isn't about me. This is about a man who has built his entire career on intimidation, lies, and fear-mongering. He wants to deport me? Let him try. Because every threat he makes just proves one thing. He's terrified of accountability. And guess what? That's exactly what's coming for him." Gasps and murmurs rippled through the crowd. She stepped back from the microphone, flashing a quick smile, knowing her words were already racing across social media. Minutes later, her statement had over 2 million views on X, with one trending comment summing it up perfectly. Trump tried to swing, Crockett broke his jaw without touching him. That evening, Jasmine Crockett went live. No CNN, no Fox News, just her phone, a ring light, and the unfiltered reach of social media. Within minutes, tens of thousands had tuned in. By the 10-minute mark, over 500,000 were watching. She leaned toward the camera, her tone casual but razor-sharp. "All right, let's go through Donald Trump's little fantasy threat line by line. He says he's going to deport me." "Deport me where exactly? Dallas? Because last I checked, I was born and raised right here in the United States, but facts were never his strong suit." The live chat exploded with laughing emojis and fire, fire, fire reactions. Jasmine smiled, scrolling through her notes. Next, he says I'm dangerous. Well, if by dangerous he means I won't let him and his cronies dismantle our democracy without a fight, then yeah, guilty as charged. But the truth is, Donald Trump is dangerous. For our freedoms, for our institutions, and for anyone who believes in equal justice. She pulled up a clip from one of Trump's rallies, playing it side by side with footage of January 6th. This man wants you to believe he's the law and order candidate while his supporters were literally smashing windows at the Capitol. That's not patriotism, that's domestic terrorism, and he fueled it. The comments section turned into a wall of agreement. Hashtags like Crockett Unchained and Trump Exposed began trending before the stream was even over. By the time she wrapped up, her closer was pure knockout punch. Donald, you can threaten me all you want. You can call me names, spread lies, and throw tantrums. But here's the truth. The law is coming for you, not me. And when that day arrives, I'll be right here, watching you finally face the justice you've been running from your whole life. The stream ended. The internet erupted. Even Trump's own former allies couldn't ignore the hit. The next morning, Washington woke up to headlines that could only be described as political fireworks. Every major outlet was running with clips from Jasmine Crockett's live stream. But Jasmine wasn't done. Not even close. She took the House floor, her voice carrying through the chamber with the kind of conviction that makes people stop mid-conversation. Cameras turned, phones came out, even her opponents leaned forward, sensing this was about to be one of those moments. Let me make something crystal clear, she began, locking eyes with the Republican side of the aisle. Donald Trump can't deport me. He can't silence me. And he sure as hell can't intimidate me. But you know what? His threat says a lot about what kind of America he wants. One where dissent is punished and truth is buried under a mountain of lies. She turned slightly toward the press gallery, her words now aimed at the country. To every young woman, every person of color, every American who's been told to stay in their place, hear me when I say this. Don't you dare let fear dictate your voice. Because people like Donald Trump thrive on fear. They depend on it. And the moment you stop being afraid, their power crumbles. The chamber was dead silent, save for the scribbling of reporters' pens. And to Donald himself, she said, her tone cooling into pure steel. If you think you can scare me into silence, then you've never faced someone who fights not for herself, but for an entire nation's future. You want to fight? I've been ready. She gathered her notes, gave one last glance at the stunned Republican side, and walked out. No grand gestures, no theatrics, just the quiet confidence of someone who knew she'd just shifted the conversation. Outside, a crowd of supporters erupted in cheers, chanting her name. Social media was already flooded with her quotes, her face, and one hashtag that summed it all up: #Fearless Crockett.